Alright, so I'm making this video. This is the first time I'm making this first video, and the reason for this video is really because I've got some people asking me how do you tame the gerbils and what I do with mine. Let me just show you first of all the difference between a tamed gerbil and not tamed gerbil. A tamed gerbil you can carry it up easily. Okay, you rest in your hand and it will not struggle, and if you put it down it just goes down calmly. Okay, so that's a tamed gerbil. Now if you do not tame your gerbil, when you try to carry it up, and I'll do that later, when you try to carry it up it will try to run away. Okay, and it will not let you carry it or even touch it. So there's a difference between a tamed gerbil and a non-tamed gerbil. Okay, now one of the things I do with a tamed gerbil, now like you can see when I put my hand here, the gerbil actually comes to my hand, close to me, and that's one of the good sign to see that it kind of like recognizes you. Now the thing about gerbils is they don't bite, so if you put your hand there and you feel them nibble you, like now they don't, okay, but if they do nibble you, it's okay. It's just basically trying to recognize your scent. Now in a basic setup, what I have is something where there's wood. And this is, I believe, is very important because there are some people who don't put wood and they cannot sharpen their teeth. Okay, and these gerbils, if they don't sharpen their teeth or their claws, then it becomes very sharp, especially when they're climbing on you. Now and then this wood shavings, I avoid pine. Heard that's bad for their lungs, so I avoid that. And then you have a bottle of water, okay, in which I have to refill in a while. Now the thing about gerbils, why they're actually highly recommended for children to take care, is because it's easy to take care. You don't really need to change their bedding. In fact, I know someone who didn't change for about 4 months and there wasn't really much of a smell. Okay, now they can go without water for about 3 days, but of course that doesn't mean it doesn't mean that you don't give them water. Okay, it just means that they can go without water for 3 days, but the condition is that their food has to be having a little moist, like example carrots or so. Okay, so yeah, that's the difference. That's the difference between a hamster and a gerbil. I'm not sure whether I'm pronouncing it right. Heard lots of pronunciations online, but in general, what I checked on the dictionary is that a singular form of this gerbil is called a gerbil. Okay, and then the plural form is a gerbils. Bulls. Okay, so I don't know why there's a difference, and if I'm wrong, then it's okay. Okay, I'm just going to use it like that. Sounds cool anyway. So anyway, the kind of food that I used, I'll talk about that in another video. I mean, these are common questions people ask me. So one of the way I actually tame my gerbil is by actually handling them. But in the first 2 to 3 days when they come home, try not to touch them. I know it's so tempting. You know, you got your new pet, you obviously want to touch them. But I think that will kind of like fear them. Okay, imagine you go in a house and somebody scares you the very second you enter. You get kind of like that phobia of actually spending time in that house. So what you're gonna do is actually just put your hand in there after 2 to 3 days. Okay, now how do you know they're ready for it? What I actually do is I actually have sunflower seeds. Now one of the things is I remove sunflower seed from their meals. Okay, so the food that I give them, I actually sit down and I separate every single sunflower seed, and then later I bring the sunflower seed, and obviously if they're busy it's a bit difficult. Okay, but if not, then they'll come for the food. Okay, it's busy. Okay. So one of the ways to check whether they are ready or not is to feed them sunflower seeds. Now you feed them for about 2 to 3 days. After that, what you want to do is to put the sunflower seed on your hand this way, and then you put it at the bottom of the cage or the tank. Okay, I would recommend tank. So you put it at the bottom. Now this one doesn't want to eat sunflower seeds, obviously. It does take it at times, so they do have preferences to. Do not expect them to take it all the time. Okay, so you're just holding it there, and then sometimes they come onto your hand just to get the food. Now if they actually come onto your hand and they actually just nibble your hand, please do not be too happy. I've got friends telling me that that means that they think the gerbil is actually tamed. No, it is not tamed. It just goes on your hand just to taste or get the scent of who you are. Okay, obviously they don't want the sunflower seed now, but that's one of the way that you can actually use to test whether they are tamed. So you just hold it there. Now after some time, what I do is I try to make fun out of the tank. So every time I bring them out, I make sure it's fun. And how I do that is really I first give them the option of climbing up my hand by themselves, but if they don't, then I do not disturb them. Or if I really want to bring them out for, I'm saying that these after like 4 to 5 days. If you really want to bring them out, then you want to try to catch them, okay? But when you catch them, do not go by the tail, okay? It will actually affect them. The tail may actually just drop off. So what you want to do is actually just to hold them from the bottom, okay? You want to hold them from the bottom here, from the base, okay? You hold them there, and they are fine with that. Usually they will put up a little struggle, they try to run around the tank. If they do that too much, I'll stop, but if they don't, they just run a little bit, I'll try to hold them and I grab them, and obviously don't squeeze them, okay? Be comfortable. If they try to jump off, let them come off, because they are definitely afraid of you, okay? Then just slowly introduce the sunflower seeds and put it on your hand and slowly just give it to them. Now one other thing that I always do is that when I'm sitting at the computer, I actually put one of my, because if I'm clicking with my right hand, then my left hand actually just goes into here and I just put it down. Okay, so it is a bit scary at the start, because you're wondering, will they actually, you know, like you see what they're doing, you know, it kind of like scares you, because you're wondering, are they going to bite next, are they like irritated at me, why are they, you know, pushing my hands or so. But believe in what they say, that gerbils do not actually bite, okay? So what you do is you just put it there and get them used to your scent, you know. And I actually play with them. You saw them, right? Using their head to push the, yeah, you see what he's doing? So I actually do it with them and stimulate. I don't know whether it really helps, but it kind of like play with them, you know. Sometimes they punch each other, so you just punch each other this way, you see? And they kind of like just play around with you. Sometimes they punch back or so, and just take it. I mean, come on, they are so small, your hands won't actually feel anything, okay? The main thing that you want to condition yourself to believe and to know is that they do not actually attack you, they do not actually want to bite you, okay? Now one very important condition that I want to share in here is that when in the process of taming your gerbils, please do not start to invite your friends over, your family, and some people bang the tanks, or some people even put their hands and try to catch here and there, and it is very stressful. Yeah, fine, you know, it seems funny or so, but it is very stressful for the gerbils. Now I actually handle the food a lot myself too, so I roughly know how much food is there in there. They like to cover the food up, and I'm okay with that. Just help them with it, you know. Kind of like be their friend, and after time they will get used to it. Okay, they'll get to use your scent, and you also know their eating habits, where they store their things or where they hide their things, and it's kind of cool. Very importantly, please, when I say sunflower seeds, do not give them salted ones. Okay, just the natural ones will do. Alright, so this video just covers about how to tame them, and basically it's really spending time with them, putting their hand in there, your hand in there, and let them get used to your scent.